talking about Earache, and the way that label is actually kind of interesting as opposed to other labels. I gotta look this way.
It basically started out in 1986 in Dig Pearson's, who's the owner of the label, in his bedroom, and it basically started up because he was friends with Napalm Death from over in England, and he just decided one day, hey, you know, let's put the record out, and they recorded this record for about $700 and put it out, and it sold 50,000 copies in Europe. And basically, I mean, it took music to this entirely new extreme. Basically, that was the Scum album that came out, and it kind of started off the whole Earache label, really.
What are some of the other bands on the roster?
There's Napalm Death and Carcass and Entombed from Sweden, Brutal Truth, Cathedral, Morbid Angel, Massacre. I mean, there's tons of bands. Godflesh, Fudge Tunnel, Lawnmower Death. I mean, the list kind of goes on and on. There's about 15 bands that are doing records right now on Earache.
Sounds like a lineup for a horror flick. Would you describe most of the bands as grindcore?
I mean, that was kind of like in, you know, a few years ago, you could probably say that really, but sort of the bands have kind of outgrown that name, really. I mean, what grindcore was really just, you know, super fast, really distorted grinding bass, hyper fast drums, and most of the time kind of like real social, political kind of lyrics, except in the case of bands like Carcass, who, you know, take all their lyrics out of medical textbooks and whatnot and take it to an extreme in another direction. But I don't know, everyone's sort of gotten a little bit more mature, I guess, as time goes on, and the grindcore, I mean, the grindcore title still applies, really, but they've sort of, like, I don't know what you would call the music, really. They would want to just call it music.
Yeah, we're going to play a band right now, Jim, that is actually not maybe your typical Earache band, because they are sort of one of the slower bands as opposed to the faster type, and they are Cathedral. But they said that the reason they're like this, too, is because one of their mentors is Black Sabbath.
Yes,
and actually the lead singer, Lee, used to be in Napalm Death.
Yes.
So thank you very much, Jim, for joining us on the Power 30.
Oh, no problem.
And for you guys, this is England's Cathedral.
I'm Ken.
I'm Jed.
We're from Carcass.
And you're watching the Metal
Power 30.
Power 30 on.
It's the most heaviest show you could ever witness on
Headbangers Ball in Europe.
TV.
You gotta get this jargon right, kids. This is really important. Right now, we're going to see interviews and videos from Brutal Truth and Carcass, who, ironically, despite their names, have a lot of band members who are vegetarians. The Brutal Truth video is an anti-vivisectionist video, which means they are against animal experiments. And Brutal Truth was formed around Dan Lilker, who used to be in Anthrax and Nuclear Assault, but he left because he wanted to play a lot faster and a lot harder. We actually got the guys from Mike from Carcass to interview Brutal Truth. But first we have an interview with Carcass, a band that needs to write their really gross lyrics with a medical encyclopedia.
What is your fascination with all the decay and the death that, you know, it's prompted a career as a musician, basically? Who would like to tackle that?
I don't think we're obsessed with it or fascinated with it. It's just what we do. It's heavy metal taken to its extreme, that's all.
It's an image. It's brutal subjects of brutal music, basically. We just wanted to be the most extreme band to write in that sort of style.
And we end up becoming a cliche in some respects, I guess, you know. We've just gone full circle. We started off as a reaction to all that stuff. And
a reaction to what?
Just childish sort of death metal or whatever, so. And I guess people just take us in the same breath as all those childish bands now, so.
Feel about, you know, parents that check out their kids' albums, see Carcass, and think, oh my God, like, what are these guys into?
Yeah, I mean, parents should be concerned about what the kids listen to anyway. At least take an interest, but doesn't mean they have to censor it. No. I mean, if they actually read up on us and did some research and went to libraries and...
Yeah, you were nice lads, you know.
You'd find out, like, you know, we're decent people, you know.
This don't you
All
think?
parents watching this, you know, we're really, really nice.
We've got good moral values, we have.
Yeah. We've had like pictures sent to us, like the kids have like, killed cats and stuff and like ripped them apart and then and it's not funny, and like put it on a Carcass sleeve and then like, you know, take a photograph of that and then sent it to us, and which is not very fun. And we're not into that, you know, but a lot of kids get the wrong idea, you know, but we're like, you know, we're nice guys, we're vegetarian.
But I really honestly think, okay, so you guys seem like pretty normal, intelligent, articulate guys who are into your music, and yet you're into all this stuff. You know, your albums depict something that you're telling me you're not.
We're just, I mean, so if someone, if
Say that again?
We're hypocrites.
if De Niro plays a role in a film, does that make him what he acts? I mean, we're just playing a role. I mean, it's like a script, isn't it?
When we get on stage, we like go mad or whatever. You know?
It's like you, for instance, on your show, you're kind of this tough, you know, woman, but you're really not.
Not too much.
It's the same kind of thing.
Okay, one last thing. Does anybody ever give you hell for your hair being short?
I read that on the script. I knew it was coming up.
We give him shit
every day.
You just won't grow it. We keep telling him to.
We're all individuals, as I keep telling myself, and that's what we got.
You keep telling yourself.
And I don't know. I mean, I don't think it really matters whether I've got long hair or short hair. It doesn't mean that, you know, the songs are going to change or the recording budget's going to be different or anything.
All the metal kids out there, we're sorry. We've tried to convince him to grow his hair long, but he just won't do it.
See, I've been metal since I was 10, so I don't need.
How long is her hair? I mean, that's not very long.
Okay,
is it?
we're hanging out with Brutal Truth, and I'm Mike from Carcass, standing in for this beautiful woman sitting up here. So what makes Brutal Truth different from all the other bands that you've been in? Because I know you've been with like Anthrax and a few other bands.
They've been in disco bands.
Yeah, that's what I heard, yeah. So what, yeah.
Progressive 70s disco.
Yeah. So what exactly makes, what's this new change of musical direction for you?
I like playing fast.
Is that it?
No, I'm seriously.
You've always played kind of fast, though.
No, I couldn't write thrash metal anymore. You know, it's like if you can't do it from your heart, there's no reason to do it. And I was more into this, so I just called up these jerks and said, let's form a band.
Okay. It seems to me like you guys have like a strong political message that you want to convey to the audience out there. Could you tell us something about that? Because I know you write the lyrics.
Yeah, they're political and social, I guess, but I guess they've evolved into a little bit more than that. You know, just that. You know.
Like what?
It's all subjective. It's all interpretive. Different people see it as different things. You know. Why don't you read the lyrics, Mike?
Yeah, I have read them. They're very good. So what about the music? To a lot of people that aren't used to hearing this kind of music, you know, they probably just see it as a complete wall of noise, you know, white noise. Nothing wrong with that. No.
No, not at all. There's actually some structure. Actually, quite a bit of structure in it. You know, it's not just one giant wall of noise. I do that on the side, but you know, I mean, it's a lot more involved. And yeah, I mean, I would never really like, you know, like come down on anyone just because they weren't into it or didn't understand what was.
Is that it?
That's excellent. That's very excellent.
Okay.